Alright, welcome to video 9-1B. We're going to go with the second part of our section here. In the previous video we studied how all of these pieces of a parallelogram in the proofs can be broken down into smaller triangles, sometimes 2 triangles at a time and sometimes 4 triangles at a time to prove the things that we know about a parallelogram. Now what are the things we know about a parallelogram? The things we know about a parallelogram is that the opposite sides are parallel, that the opposite sides are also congruent to each other, and that the diagonals bisect each other. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to use those 3 pieces of information in turn to figure out some missing algebraic pieces of our work here. So in example 4, we're told that ABCD is a parallelogram and we're asked to find each measure. Part A of this asks us to find the length of segment AD. And so I can see that it has an algebraic label of 7x, so I'm going to write an equation that puts the opposite sides congruent, which is that 7x AD is congruent to CB, so we can go ahead and write an equation that says 7x is congruent to 5x minus 19. Really quick steps there solve us that 2x is 19 and therefore x is 9.5. Remember, just because I get an answer, that's not necessarily the end of the problem, so make sure you go back and you substitute the 9.5 into the value for x in the side. So 7 times that is really what we're looking for, which is 66.5. So that's the first example. Part B of example 4 then asks me to use that same logic about knowing it's a parallelogram, finding the missing measure. This time we want to find the measure of angle B. So we're going to use the fact that opposite angles are congruent, and therefore, let's fill in as we go here, that angle B is congruent to its opposite angle, which is angle D, and therefore the measures of those angles are congruent. Measure of angle B is congruent to measure of angle D. So let's write an equation. The left side here already has the measure of angle B, so we're going to put in the measure of angle D on the right-hand side, 8y minus 17. And if we do some quick work there, we get, adding 17 to both sides, we get 22. Subtracting 6y from both sides, we get 2y. And then we get that 11 is equal to y. Notice we didn't stop there. We're going to go to the next step. If we want to find the measure of angle B, that means we're going to put 11 in for y, and we get 66 plus 5, or finally 71 degrees. I'd like you to go ahead and work through the your turn on the facing page here, number 8 and 9, and we're going to use the ideas of knowing what a parallelogram does to find each measure. I'll give you a hint. This one talks about our diagonals bisecting each other. So take a couple minutes to finish these 2 problems and then make sure you check in on the Your Turn answers that are posted online so that when you come back to class tomorrow, you guys are ready to just jump right into the evaluate, doing some more proofs and doing some of these missing piece problems. Okay. I'm also going to go ahead and check in with you tomorrow on the essential question number 12 at the bottom of this page. So make sure you do that along with your turns. Thanks, guys.